up next, we have a speaker, Muthulakshmi Mahesh. So she is from Lollipop Design, and she is a UI UX designer. And the best thing about her is I think a couple of years ago she was from the audience. She literally came to one of our monthly meetups, and from there she started involving herself into communities. And right now, she's here as a speaker. So yeah.
Let's first begin with the agenda, like the contents which I'm going to talk now. The first one would be how I got into UI UX. We'll be talking about what I learned and what are the challenges that I faced. And then we'll be moving to understanding the different terminologies like UI and UX, what's the difference between them. And we'll also be seeing how one can become a UI UX designer. And let me understand how many of you are designers here or aspiring designers. Okay. Right. And we'll also be seeing building the portfolio. What are the case studies do we need to include? How many case studies do we need to include? And how we can build the portfolio. What are the portfolio websites? Things like that. And also the elements that we need to include in the case study. And I'll also be sharing some of the resources like the online courses that you can take up in order to become a UX designer, right? And so how I started my career in UX design a year back. Actually, I'm from the background of business administration, which is completely different from this. So people around me, like my friends and family, they were asking how you could take up this field. Sort of questions were arising, and I had some hope and I had some confidence that I'll be able to crack up. So I was involving myself to study, and I surfed on the internet. And how I started is, first I got exposed to UX design when I attended the GDG event, as he said. Last year I attended GDG event and I got exposed that field like this is existing. And then I came back home, I surfed on the internet, then I got a fair understanding of what this field actually means. Because earlier I tried other fields like HR, but it was like routine. I wanted to do something creative and which would make me think more. So that's the reason why I thought not to limit myself. And that's how I got into UX design. So, and when I surfed on the internet, I got to know that we'll be able to learn more and we'll be able to build a portfolio by the way of studying in Coursera. I enrolled myself in Coursera Google UX design course and started learning. So when I was picking up myself, what the hurdle or the challenges which I faced is I had to complete my portfolio in 1 month. Because in my college, when I was doing my MBA, I had only 1 month to apply for the internship, and internship was a part of our course. So I had to apply within 1 month, so I was rushing to complete my portfolio without any guidance, and that was pretty much a challenge for me. And then I started to applying in many companies, but I got only the negative feedback. They were asking me to do both programming as well as design, which was pretty much a challenge for me because I know only the basics of HTML and CSS, and somehow I tried to approach a lot of people in LinkedIn, and that's how I got an opportunity to attend an interview. And I got into Augley, where I was interning for about 2 months, and I got to understand how working with designers would feel like. I got that environment, I got a basic understanding. The senior designers were guiding me, and then after 2 months I continued my regular MBA course. Then what I did was we had third semester, and then the fourth semester we had to do a project for 6 months. So what I did was I started applying to a lot of companies even before everyone started. So in that way, it was pretty much easy for me to get into a startup. So that was my second experience for 6 months, and after that, it was easy for me to get converted as a full-time employee. Right? During this time, I was able to collaborate with a lot of developers because the designers were from other cities, and I didn't have much opportunity to get feedback from them. I was not able to brainstorm with them. So that was a challenge which I again faced. And also they were using XD, but I tried to pick up that as well because I felt like it was not much user-friendly like how Figma is. And then I started approaching people again in LinkedIn. And that is how I got into Lollypop Design Studio. I got an opportunity to attend the interview again, and now I am currently at Lollipop learning a lot of things. And that's all about me. Now, let me also share some of the value-adding tips that you could include in your portfolio. Portfolio is not just your website. It could also be your Instagram page. Like if you're posting consistently, like if you're posting your UX, UI design skills there, then even that is going to add value to your portfolio, right? And regarding me, like in my case, I hosted a podcast and I also written a book, which is obviously adding value to my portfolio. And also public speaking like this, and if you are connecting with a lot of people, you are building your network, and you could try tutoring in Udemy. Like I have seen people taking classes in YouTube and mentorships. These are some of the ways in which you could build the portfolio. And also open source contributions is other way. Now let's understand the difference between UX and UI. Okay, first let's start with UX design. So it's just about enhancing the user experience and making the process simple. During that process, we'll be doing the user research, like interviewing the user to understand about the users better. And we need to understand what the people want and what they are trying to solve. What is the user goal? That is the major purpose. And by doing that, we'll be able to derive at the solution. And the next one which we are going to see is UI design, which is the user interface. It's nothing but the design system, like we'll have a predefined set of rules or standards that we need to follow, like the style guide. The style guide would typically consist of the colors that we are going to use throughout the product or the project, and also the typography, the font weight, the font size. So it has to be consistent throughout your project. Okay, so if you are taking up the UI design, like in the design system, we need to have a predefined set of colors and these components. So this will be easy for us to maintain it consistently throughout the project, and also the familiarity concept will be derived from here. Like familiarity in the sense, the users have been familiar using the apps with having like if the back button has to be placed in a certain place, it has to be same in every app. You can't change the standards, right? And also what I mean the consistency is, if you are using outlined icons in the navigation, bottom navigation bar, then it has to be the same. You can't use interchange with the filled icons, right? visual design. UI basically deals with the visual design. Now let us see like how one can become a UI UX designer. In order to become one, you need to get yourself educated, you need to get yourself familiarized with the design patterns, and you first need to understand the subject. That is the core. Be it in any field, first you need to educate yourself by understanding the subject. So you can do this either by reading articles online or books, even YouTube. Like you can familiarize yourself with the software. If you have kind of doubts, then you can directly get access to everything online, right? So I don't think there is a need for you to enroll yourself in the institute, because you can get access to a lot of things online. And by the way of attending events also, you will be able to network, and you will be able to gain more exposure. And also you need to understand UX, the UX process. Like first we need to meet the users, understand who are our target audience. Only by understanding the target audience and only by knowing the demographics of them, we'll be able to design better, because that is the primary motto, right? First we need to understand the user, like their goals and what are the challenges they are facing. First we need to figure out what problem are they having, and then we'll be empathizing with the user, we put ourselves in the shoes of the user and think from their perspective. Like in order to complete one scenario, in order to complete a particular task, what are the challenges they are facing and how can we make it simple, right? So we can do that by creating a user persona, which ideally mean that creating, having a set of target audience, like the majority of the people, what kind of problem are they facing. So we can have a user persona, a fictional character, and which typically depicts the actual challenge which they are facing, and we can create the user scenarios, like how are they coping up with it, and we can conduct the user interview with the direct user to understand about the user better. Then we can create the user experience map, which ideally mean the highs and lows of the user, like how he's going through that particular journey or particular task of doing that activity. And then we can make it simple, like just prioritizing the information in a list, like what are the tasks which he is going to achieve in a list way. Then you can do iterations which will be easy for the user to use the app. So that is how we can make it, and in this process we are going to give that application to the user and test it. Like we can make a prototype and give it to the user, and when we are testing it with the user, we'll get a better idea, like what is the frustration and what is the pain point which the user is facing, and make it even more better with other iteration. So no one is going to get a perfect final screen in the first stage itself, right? So we need to go with a lot of variations and iterations. Then we'll be able to get a simplified version of the same screen. Example, like if we are doing a dashboard, we need to try it out in multiple versions. So we also need to ideate, like brainstorm with the fellow designer. So in that way, we'll be able to get fresh perspectives. We can think from different perspectives, which will ideally make us improve our designs. Our understanding will get better. So after mastering UX design, you also need to understand how to work on UI. So UI, you can get familiar with the design patterns when you are installing a lot of applications, and when you are using a lot of applications, you will be able to get a better idea, like why are they using checkboxes instead of radio buttons, and you will be able to understand it better. So you can learn UI design only by copying top designers, like you can just copy their design from the dribble and pasted it on Figma, and you can try replicating the same. By doing this, you will understand better like why are they using this font weight for the heading. So when you are trying to start from the scratch, it will be easy for you to simply get through. Like you will follow the same method without you realizing. So that's how you can practice UI design. So ideally you need to copy the design and try to replicate the same. So on mastering both UI and UX design, you will be able to showcase those skills in your portfolio, right? You can include both UX and UI projects. So ideally, if you are going to apply for an e-commerce company, then make sure that you are going to add relevant projects so that you can expect a callback easily, right? In order to gain hands-on experience, you need to work on freelance project if possible or mock projects. And I also mentioned that it's not necessary to take an course in institute, right? So how can we avoid that? We can do that by doing an internship. Even if it's unpaid, it's still going to benefit you because you are going to gain experience as well as you are going to gain valuable feedback and guidance from your senior designers, right? So you can apply that theoretical knowledge in the practical scenarios, and also you should get feedback from your colleagues and from the mentors, because this constructive criticism will eventually help you to better your designs. So you can improvise your designs by the way of feedback. And also if you are brainstorming with your fellow designer, then you will get better ideas. So by joining design communities and by attending events like these, it can help you to improvise your knowledge, and you can also seek mentorship. Then by following these, you will be able to easily get a entry-level position or internship. So how can you work on your portfolio? These are some of the websites in which you can work on the portfolio, like the portfolio websites. I recommend having a domain and hosting the portfolio, like Behance. I don't recommend Behance because it is a bit outdated and everyone prefers having their own portfolio website, which would be good, and recruiters would prefer that. So these are some of the example sites like Behance, Dribble, Squarespace, Wix, and Adobe Portfolio. So it's basically the case studies, like 3 to 4 case studies can be included in the portfolio. While adding work like the case studies in your portfolio, you should make sure that it is solving a lot of the problems, like you are solving the design problems, and it should showcase your abilities, right? What happened recently is one of my students, I mentored to a student, so she was showing me her portfolio, and in that case study I found that there is the challenge, like the problem she has identified, and there is the before and after screens, how she has redesigned it. It's basically a redesign project. So what I thought, she was explaining me orally that she had conducted user interview, but it was not there in the case study, which I feel is more important to have, because if your design lead or the recruiters are going through your portfolio, and if they are not able to find that, then they will not know that you have did this kind of research, right? So at least you need to have the stakeholder question. The questionnaire can be presented, like the efforts which you are putting in order to do that particular project has to be shown in your case study. And you can gather the project details like the paperwork and also the information that you are getting from the client and the visual design like the style guide. Those things can be included in the project or in the case study because that is important, like, right? We need to include all the relevant project details. And we can, by gathering these project details, we'll be able to create the case study that would ideally solve the user's problem. And we can also see how the design decisions are taken in that project, like how we are approaching towards that solving the problem, right? And then we can post the portfolio website, and we need to make sure that it is compatible in every device, because if it's not working in mobile or if it's not same as like if it's different, then there is no use, right? If your recruiter or the design lead is going to see your portfolio in mobile, and if it's not working, then you can't expect a call back from them. And when we are applying for a company, we are all seeing the about the company page, right? In the same way, we need to establish ourselves as a brand. So how can we do this is by adding an about me page. In this page, we can add our background, our design process, and what we are as a person. So we can share the design philosophy and what makes us unique as a designer, which will ideally make us a better candidate. And contact us page is also important. If you are doing freelancing or doing something like this is sort of thing, then you can add a form, or simply you can at least add LinkedIn mail ID redirecting to the same. As simple as that. And some of the resources or the online courses which I would like to recommend to the beginners are Coursera, which offers a number of courses and specializations like the Google UX design course. It has 7 series for about 6 months. And the next one would be Skillshare, where you'll get like bite-sized lessons for 15 minutes every day. You can upskill yourself. And then there is Udemy, which offers a plethora of resources. Like there are a lot of courses available in Udemy which you can make use of. And that's all. We have come to the end of the session. You can reach out to me. If you have any questions, I'll be here.